What's up guys, David here and welcome to the Daily FitPro. So my aim is simple. Each week I'm aiming to get one person to come on this podcast and share with you how they've got their fitness business to the place they are today. And today's one is the perfect one for any new person that wants to get online, anybody that wants to scale online, or people that just want to know how online actually works. We're doing an interview with Tobias Young. Now, Tobias Young is a sponsored athlete, so he's super competitive in his physique. Plus, he runs a super successful online coaching business where he charges £10,000 for a year just to work with him. The conversation is about 35 minutes long, so it's really going to be a good one for you to watch. And then at the end, I kind of cut it short because that's what the portal members get access to. So anybody that joins the portal or is a portal member, they get the chance to ask all these people questions at the end. Anyway, that's enough for me talking. Let's dive straight into this video. Okay, so welcome, Tobias. I put a post out the other day asking for recommendations for people to potentially come on the podcast, and a few people actually shouted you out, and I thought, you know what, if instead of people reaching out to me and asking to be on it, if people are shouting out to get this person on, then they must be unique or they must be special in some sort of way. So I thought, let's get you on. So for the first, let's say 20 minutes, we'll just have a little chat. Literally, I will get to know you as much as possible, and then you can help everybody watching or listening find out what made these people shout you out, because you must be quite unique or special in a certain way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So tell me, how did you kind of get started in the fitness industry then?
Yeah, just to kind of give you, I mean, if we go way back, how I got started, like what got me interested in fitness is I grew up with a single mom, with just my mom, basically. I didn't have a dad around, so I needed like a male role model. I needed to be able to have an outlet. So my mom actually got me a big brother from the Big Brothers program when I was 11 years old. And he was into, working out and athletics and things like that. So when I was 12, on my 12th birthday, he got me a gym membership for my birthday. And he got me some personal training lessons. And from there, I basically fell in love with working out, how it made me feel. I used to watch, it's an old show. It kind of dates me, but it's called The Incredible Hulk back in the day with Lou Ferrigno. And he used to go in there flexing, ripping his shirt off and everything. And it motivated me. I was like, man, I want to be like that. And so from there, I always got into, fitness, and I did sports growing up, and, wrestling, boxing, jiu-jitsu, football. Then I got into bodybuilding, competing back in 2002, and then just kind of took it high. And I ended up turning pro, IFBB, in men's physique as well. And that got me into a lot of things too. So it got me, in a lot of magazines. I got on some covers. I'm sponsored by Optimum Nutrition, which is the #1 sports nutrition company out there, which was great. But then what I wanted to do is I wanted to help other people. And I was a personal trainer. I got started back in training back in 1999, 24-hour fitness. And that's kind of like how I started. From there, I ended up getting quickly into management. I did really well as a trainer. I broke like the record there in sales, and like within the first 3 months of even being a trainer. Got into gym management. Then I, managed several 24-hour fitnesses, got into Gold's Gym, managed In Shape Health Clubs. And after a while, I was like, man, I want to be able to help people in a greater impact from all over the world. Because I would have people, message me that had questions on their nutrition, on their workouts, and they'd see something in the magazine or something, and I would go in there and send them, a free workout or a free nutrition plan. Here, do this, change this in your diet, and this will be good. And then after a while, I was like, man, I got to start charging for this, right? So then I built my own website. I didn't know what to do. So I started off, I built a Weebly kind of drag and drop website, created like a sales page on there. And then I was like, man, I'm actually like, can make money doing this online. And it's like something that I love. And so I was still managing gyms and doing personal training and managing personal trainers. And so I had a busy schedule, with a wife and, 2 kids as well. And then I was competing on top of that. And I was just like, man, I love the online realm so much because I can just really have such an impact. So then I started going more towards the online realm. Okay. And then eventually I was like struggling because I was trying everything. This would work and this wouldn't work. And, basically spending years spinning my wheels. And then finally I started working with mentors. I was like, man, I'm going to invest in myself so that way I can make this my business. And so then I started working with mentors. And then from that point on, it's just like it took off. And I was like, man, I should have done this from the very beginning, is worked with somebody who can actually show me the ropes, but in the beginning, you're like, man, I don't want to spend money on that, but you're going to spend it on something else. If you're not going to spend money on a mentor, you can spend it on supplements or food or going out or, whatever people do. So like a big word of advice is to start off in the very beginning, working with a coach that'll take you through the exact steps so you don't have to spin your wheels for years and years and years. Right? Because I always wanted to go online. And one of my biggest accomplishments was about 1.5 years ago, being able to just leave the fitness industry inside the box gym altogether, where you're basically trading your time for money, and now being able to work on your own schedule from home. And so now it's great. I'm like making a greater impact. I'm able to impact my clients because I'm basically training them 7 days a week through the app and my coaching. So I'm able to help them get better results. I'm able to really scale my business, my income, everything in there, flexibility, be able to work from anywhere in the world that I want. If I go on vacation, I can take my laptop and work. So there's no limits to what you can do, being an online coach. And so from there, that's kind of how I got started. I mean, back, 99 as a personal trainer. So it's kind of like a long-winded intro, but there you go, David.
No, that's a great story. It's the reason your story to get into it is usually your most powerful marketing tool out there. So you kind of dreamt luck like the Hulk, and then your big brother kind of helped push you in towards it as well, and that was your desire motivation. So having just that ability to really use something to really kickstart you will always help with anything sort of marketing related.
Yeah.
So let's talk about so as you talked there, I wrote a load of notes down, so I'm just going to work through backwards everything we talked about. So what is your current setup now then? You work completely online?
Yes, 100% online. So yeah, I've been online 100% for about the last 1.5 years. And so it's been a dream come true. So I love it.
So who's your niche then? Do you work with everybody, or do you only work with certain types of people?
No, one of the things that I found out early on, when you're a personal trainer in a big box gym, like, most of us all do starting off, it's like you have to work with whoever comes to the gym. So it might be, an athlete, it might be a mom, it might be a dad, it might be someone who wants to lose weight, someone who wants to gain muscle. So it gets you versatile, which is good. But you have to, online is different, okay? It's kind of like if you try to help everybody, you help nobody, because your message just kind of goes into it's like speaking into an ocean, right? But if you actually go and you have a certain person that you have a certain outcome for, then you're going to attract that particular person. Otherwise, if they see that you help everybody, then it's not even going to attract them. They want somebody that's going to be very specific into what their problem is and who they are as a person and how you can basically help them. So now I work with business professionals that need a lifestyle change. And typically we work on dropping about 20 pounds of body fat, but it's not just about the body fat. Everybody wants to have that, number where it's like, well, how much can I lose? Well, yeah, you can lose this, but it might not be 20 pounds because you're going to be gaining muscle. You're going to be losing fat. Your energy levels are going to go like 10x through the roof. You're going to have that confidence. You're going to fit in your clothes that you haven't been able to fit in 10 years. It's like all these things. So weight is really like not even relevant. If you can look and feel amazing and you're 10 pounds, if you only lose 10 pounds, and that's what it is. So that's one thing too I like to tell all new trainers starting off is really find who you really want to work with, and then just target them specifically, and you'll be able to speak directly to them as opposed to just like trying to help everybody and get nobody. That was my problem in the beginning.
That's kind of my next question. How did you decide that it was this type of person you want to work with? Because I'm guessing most people out there, you say pick somebody and they just go for the easy options. You might go for ladies only or over 30s only. How did you decide to go super niche? So not just men, not just over a certain category, of a real type of life position. How did you decide to only work with them then?
Yeah, I mean, starting off, because I competed, I drew a lot of competitors toward me. So I would coach a lot of competitors. And I was like, man, this is like, it's like they get really needy like the last 2 weeks before a show where it's like your phone is blowing up 100 times a day. And I was like, man, this is crazy. So I really like working with people that are kind of like me. I'm very business minded. I wanted to work on maximizing my energy so I can be as productive as possible. I used to, when I managed In Shape Health Clubs, I used to train the CEOs of the company.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, I love working with like professionals and executives, because it's like, they may run the show at what they do, but when it comes to you, they're like, you just show me what to do, Tobias, and I will do it. They're very structured and oriented, and you can give them a game plan and they'll follow through. It's just like they're your best clients, so they're used to having like structured things that they need to have in place in order to be successful. And so like they get amazing results. And so that's what kind of drew it to me. And we had that attraction because we're both very business minded, and both, believe it or not, a lot of them want to have a really nice body too. Like you would think, okay, it's going to be more energy and production, but a lot of them are like, well, I want to look good, because when I'm in, speaking in front of, board members and things like that, I want to feel confident. I want to look good in a suit, and it's just like they don't want to be out there sloppy, and so I was like, it's just like, it drew me to them. I was like, yes, let's get you feeling freaking amazing. Let's get you feeling your best. Let's do it. Let's go. And it just bonded, you know what I mean? And also, if you work with somebody like a business professional, they're going to be able to afford like a higher end service as well. Yeah. So you have to think about that as well. It's like, are they, going to be someone that you can give 100% of you to, and they can pay you in return for what you're giving out. And that's like, it's a win-win in that situation.
Perfect. So then from what you were saying then, it makes it super clear to most people watching this. If you're not sure who to niche down to or who to be specific working on, find the people you actually enjoy working with the most. The last thing you want to do is pick a certain niche and dread working with that type of person. Find the people you enjoy working with and go with that. And then the way you finished off then brought us nicely into what I want to talk about next. Is how do you actually find these executives and how do you find your clients?
Yeah, you have to go where they're at. So you have to know your avatar inside and out. So you have to know which Facebook groups that they're in. Okay. And how do you find that out? Well, you got to know what their hobbies are. So, I mean, what magazines do they like to read? What do they like to do in their spare time? What type of cars do they drive? So all those things are going to be what they're interested in Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever it is. In LinkedIn, you can target them specifically, especially if you use Sales Navigator. You can go, okay, I'm looking for this type real estate or whatever it is. You can really target down in them. A lot of trainers don't even use LinkedIn. Hint, hint. It's something that's coming, you guys. So it's a great tool. But with Facebook, then you go into the groups that they're in. You become an authority, you give value inside the groups, and it's going to basically attract them to you as it is. So I like to do more of an attraction type method where you put out good content that speaks directly towards your avatar. And then from them, they message you or, they'll comment in there. And then from there, you can, go in and everybody who liked or commented on your post, you can thank them for liking or commenting on your post and start a conversation. From there, the conversation can turn into, if they're interested, into a call. So a strategy call.
Nice. Okay. So you said go into these groups and post content. Most people are literally thinking, okay, post recipes, post workouts and stuff. I'm guessing that's not exactly what you do when you go into these groups, is it?
No. So you want to go in and, so for example, if it's golf, because, a lot of executives, they like to do golf. It's one of those things because, in their spare time or whatever it is. I'm just taking this for example. You can go in there and then you can ask, hey, do you guys feel that strength training is prohibits your swing, or is it something that you actually include in your routine? And you just do like a question mark post, and you have all the different people that then start to comment. Oh, it makes, I don't want to do it because I don't want to get big and bulky. Or other people will say, no, this is so important. I increase my drive range, as long as you include your mobility in there. And it just creates a big old chain of people. And then from there, you can target, okay, I'm going to talk to this person, this person, this person, this person. You just go in there and hey, man, comment. I saw your comment on my post, and would you be interested in me showing you an exercise that you can do that would maybe help out with your golf swing? They'd be like, okay, yeah. And then it just goes into there, and then they see you as an authority right there. You build out your friendship, and you're giving something away. It's not like you're trying to sell them right off the bat.
Perfect. Love it, mate. So something else I wrote down that's kind of away from what we were just talking about. Has your reputation being the what was the IFFBA model, was it?
IFBB.
Yeah, and then obviously getting your endorsements and sponsorship. Has all that helped your reputation in finding clients, or would you say that hasn't really made much of a difference?
Absolutely. So I think anything that you can do, like if you show social proof, because people are going to want to say, how are you going to help me if you can't even do it for yourself, right? Yeah. So if you're a personal trainer that doesn't work out, that looks like crap, you're just like all over the place, you can have the best knowledge, but people may not want to work with you just because you don't apply it yourself. So if you apply it yourself and people see like, oh my God, this guy, like, he goes to the pinnacle of it. He knows, he lives and breathes this. That's somebody who I want to work with. This is somebody who I want to show, me. So, just like if you have a Mercedes car, are you going to take it to somebody who drives a beat up, Hyundai that's like, putting down the street? Oh yeah, no, I can fix that. Or are you going to, take it to somebody that has like a whole Mercedes, dealership? You're going to take it to that person, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. So just for other people watching this, when I started out, I only worked with over 30 women. So I obviously had no way to relate to them. So I linked it all back to my mum. So when you decide on that niche, you have to be able to relate to them in some way. So Tobias is picking men, professionals who want to look the best they possibly can. So by him achieving those results, they can look to him as an authority because he can get there. For me, when I was doing it, it was being able to talk about the issues or struggles or worries that my mum had to be able to then relate back to them so they then would trust me.
Yes, being able to just relate in general, and then getting testimonials can be huge. So even from your in-person, clients, if you reach out to your in-person clients and you have them give you a testimonial on how good of a trainer that you are, you can use that as a relation tool, because you need to be able to relate, obviously to your avatar in some way. You got to have some kind of common ground. So if you're not that type of person that does that, it's okay. Like if you can get that person that particular result and you can show that you did it, then that's going to be the same basic thing in there too.
Perfect.
So testimonials, before and after pictures, all those things, all that social proof is huge in this industry.
So you've talked about how to generate leads, get people interested in what you have to offer. You also mentioned right at the start, you're the top salesperson. So let's move into sales tips then. What kind of 2 to 3 key sales tips can you give to somebody to take somebody from being a prospect where they've given you some details or they started a conversation to an actual paid client?
Yes. So the first thing is, whoever you're speaking to has to do 3 things. They have to know you, they have to like you, and they have to trust you. So those are 3 major things. So how are they going to do that? So you have to provide social proof. So instead of just throwing out a blank post out there on who wants to do this, but you don't have anything out there, it's any type of social proof. You have to be able to build that into your marketing. It's got to be an integral part. You can't be scared to do the sales process either. So you have to make it very conversational. If you have a script that you use, then make sure you go through that script several times ahead of time and just know the bullet points in there. So it's very conversational. If you're like, Okay, and if you were to follow my program for the next 90 days, what do you think would happen? Like, it's very robotic. People are gonna be like, what the heck? Who is this clown? You know what I mean? It's gotta be something like, yeah, man. So, what made you reach out to me in the first place? How long have you been struggling with it? You have to ask the right questions. And really, in the sales process, it's about getting your prospect to do all the talking. If you're doing all the talking the whole time, you're basically going to lose them. You're not basically selling them. So
was literally
once the people,
that was what I was going to write down then and ask you in a minute. I was going to compare a sales conversation to this interview. I promoted you for this podcast or this episode that people are watching. So my job is to ask you a question and then be quiet because they've come to listen to you. And it's the same when the prospect comes in to sit down and they want to learn how you can help them. You ask them a question and then you let them talk. You let them almost sell themselves into what it is you're selling. Yeah.
100%. So as soon as you're on a conversation with somebody, they have their wall up, right? It's just like a built up wall. They're just like this. You have to get them to speak for them to slowly break down the walls. The more they talk and open up, that's when they start to tear down the walls and actually give you their heart, on what's going on. So you have to be able to ask questions and the right type of questions. And you have to not be scared to dig into the pain points. You have to what's called dig the knife. So what has been their pain points that they have been going through? What keeps them up at night? Those are huge things. People want to get out of pain even more than they want to get into pleasure. So if all you're doing is talking about the pleasures of the after, on you're going to gain this much muscle, you're going to lose this much body fat, that's only a small piece of the puzzle. You have to be able to say you're no longer going to have to, worry about, going in front of your wife and having to turn off the lights every time you guys, get intimate, or, you're not going to have to worry about going to the beach and having to wear a t-shirt over your bikini because you're scared to show your body. How amazing is that going to feel? So it's really digging into the pain point. And how long have you been struggling with this? Why haven't you reached out before? And they're going to start thinking, man, I really should have reached out before, and then, they've been struggling. But it's asking the right type of questions where they just open up and they want to get rid of that pain as bad as possible. And you dig that knife even more. And I'm not saying to beat them up by any means, but I'm just saying you have to dig that knife, let them feel the pain that they've been feeling. So then now you provide the solution, the pleasure, and it's just like, oh, I can't wait to get to that list. Yes, let's get this started. So if you do it all correctly, it runs really smooth.
Nice. Okay, so let's move into pricing, because there'll be loads of people watching this who are thinking about going online, and they're thinking,
yeah,
I'll just do a £40 or $40 for the month, or I might just do $50. People will be too scared to pay that much. I can, without knowing your prices, I can guarantee you're in the $1,000 mark, if not more, for maybe even a 3-month program minimum. You might even be charging $300 or $400 a month. How does let's go first. What is the difference, or what is there something unique you have to be able to offer to be able to charge that price, or could you just give all the attention they need to be able to charge that price?
If you give them what they need, people basically don't care about the vehicle, but they just want to know that you can get them there. If you can get them there, that's what they pay for.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you can show them, I will get you to where you want to be without a shadow of a doubt, they will pay whatever it takes, basically. So if you have a little bit of a headache and you can deal with it, right? You're not going to probably, spend that much money on getting medication. If you have a pounding migraine where you can't sleep and it's so freaking bad that it keeps you up for the past 3 days, you're going to basically pay whatever it costs, to get that fixed, right? You're going to pay more if the pain point is more. So you have to, do that. So in a nutshell, people will pay more, and they'll pay attention more if they pay more, if that makes sense. So if you charge a small amount, they're not going to see the value in your program. I used to do that when I first started. I made that mistake of charging small amounts, And I would wonder why, man, like, why aren't they like doing what I say and going through it? And then I started charging more. The more I charged, the better my clients became. The more they started doing their food diaries, their progress photos, their measurements, their communication with me, their check-ins, like. And now it's at a point where I have a 12-month program, which is $10,000, and I have a 12-week program, which is $3,000, and people pay it. Like, it's just like, because they know that it's valuable, and you provide the solution to their pain, and it's there. So I also have a recurring model of $297 a month, like for like a lower end. So I have kind of like a value tier that I go in there. And it started off at 97, then went to like 149, then it went to 199, then it went to 249, and now it's at 297. So you can see it's just like, the more I charge, the better clients I get. And I'm just telling you that right off the bat. And it's not going to be for everybody. If you try to attract all the people that just want a cheap little deal, those are not the people that are going to be, most likely your best clients overall.
Nice. Okay. So you're in this leisure center, you're the manager, you said, and you're kind of teaching other personal trainers as well at the same time?
So now, I mean, I've been doing the online coaching. So now I've had some trainers reach out to me too. And so I've helped out, with that.
When was the right time? When did you know the right time to go fully online, or even if it's not online, coaching in the gym? When do you know the right time is to really go for it and go full time into this new fitness career?
Oh, I got you. So your question now. So I would say when you realize that this is what you want to do, you have to go all in. If you know that fitness is going to be, your career, and you want to be able to scale and implement and really have the most amount of impact, you can start off as hybrid, but until you really decide, I will do whatever it takes to make this business successful, you'll always kind of like do part of what it takes to get there. You won't fully go all in. So I was at that point, from the gym where I was like, I want to go all in. I left I had a, really, good paying job at managing gyms and stuff. And I just left this to do this. And now it's like, it's not even close. Like, anything like financially, it's so much more of it better now and everything in there too. So you just have to decide, look, this is what I want to do. I'm going to make, do everything that I need to go online, and just get with the mentor that's going to like basically coach you there, and do it. You will get there if you have the passion for it, but you also have to distinguish yourself on why you're different from everybody else too.
Okay, let's go with the mentor thing then. How would you go and find a mentor maybe that's right for you then?
Yeah, I mean, you have to like do your research. And I mean, I've gone through several mentors. I worked with a lot of them, and some of them I felt like did an amazing job, and other ones I was like, okay, that wasn't, the best experience, but, regardless, I learned something from it. Yeah. So you have to basically, get on some sales calls, with the different FitPro mentors, and then find out, who would be the best fit, who kind of vibes with you, who your style, kind of, you're going to be able to tell who your style is good with, like their personality is going to fit, their philosophies, ask them definitely, what their philosophies are on sales and so forth. There's some FitPro coaches that'll say, hey, you need to message 100 people every single day, cold messages, and send out, and that's like basically your whole day is doing cold messaging. Other ones will go more for an attraction method, where they want you to do value posts, and then you can just comment on the warm leads that are already coming to you. Other people are more like on your Instagram stories. Like, I've done a lot of different mentors, and a lot of them have like different, types of styles, and you have to kind of ask the people on the call what their style is, and see what you would feel most comfortable doing. Because if you wouldn't feel comfortable doing a bunch of cold messages, then that's probably not going to be your coach, even if it's an effective strategy. So if that makes sense. There's a great group. AJ has one, FitPro Mentorship Review, and they do a lot of like, they'll review all the different mentors in there, and everybody can kind of give their 2 cents in there too. So big shout out to AJ with your FitPro Mentorship group.
Okay, so let's talk about this front end offer then, your 12-week thing. So there's people watching this kind of interested, maybe they've got excited about how you've done it and how well you've done. What do you offer somebody on a 12-week initial program? Then what is it they get from you for you to be able to charge that amount?
Yeah, so really, like I was saying, this is the result. But what I do for my clients is we do group coaching calls, because group coaching calls is going to be a lot more scalable for one. And it also allows the clients to be able to learn from each other, like everybody in there, and it builds like a community. So one thing you want to have is you want to build a community for your clients where they want to stay with you because they love the community. Some people, they join because they want a result, but they stay because of the community, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so you want to build that. Okay, then you also want to build a scalable transformation. So if it's a 12-week program, have steps that you do every step of the way. So every single week with me, we set up 2 group coaching calls. I do, when they first get started, we do a one-on-one like implementation call where I take them through the app that I use, show them how to log in, tell them my expectations of them, what I have for them. I set some realistic goals that we're going to accomplish together. And I make sure that they're on the calls, give them the Zoom links, make sure they're able to log into the platform, just like lay out any type of kinks on that. Because if they can't download the app or they can't do anything right, and you never have contact with them like face to face, that's going to be a cancellation for you, right? So you want to minimize anything that would lead to any type of bad experience and give them the best positive experience. Because some people actually, they sign up, but they don't actually know you. Eventually you may have a sales team that works for you, and they want to be able to get a chance to know you first. So I would suggest start off with a one-on-one call with every new person, an onboarding call. And then from there, I do like an implementation call where we implement a new strategy for the week on Tuesdays. And Thursdays is like a different topic every single week, which is going to be going towards their healthy lifestyles. And then we do a Q&A after on both the calls. Yeah. And then I call specifically on each one of the clients on the call too. So I get very interactive with them. And at the same time, I use a training platform. I use PT Distinction so I can actually build groups and I can, drip feed content. It took me a lot of time to build out my whole system where everything is like in there drip fed, but now it's almost on autopilot where it's like once they go through the program, I know they're going to get this piece of content on this day, this day, this day. Yeah. It's going to message them this, it's going to get them the weekly check-in. I do monthly workshops with them. Then they have a new recipe pack that they get every single month. And then I do a customized nutrition, which is going to be tailored to what they want. And then I customize their workouts and everything in there too. So it's a lot that goes in there, but it's, once you build out your platform, it's going to be very scalable for you.
Perfect. Okay, so let's see what questions we have. Oh, what an interview. Hopefully that has got you inspired to get started online. I know he made it sound really simple to get started, but honestly, it really is. Once you know your audience and you know the type of prices that you can charge, it is relatively simple to get started. It just requires the work, and he did mention that during the interview. The ones that usually succeed are the ones that put all the effort in to get to those points. Anyway, the portal members were able to ask their questions. They got a load more additional value from it. And in case you don't know, the portal price goes up on Friday. So if you're watching this live right now, or when we're doing this, it is the 29th of April. The price goes up on the 1st of May. So if you're watching this way beyond now, the price is £97 a month. But anybody can join in before the 1st of May. You can join for just £7 for your first 30 days, then it's £47 a month afterwards. Anyway, if you know anybody, or if you would like to come on, talk about how you got started in the fitness industry, how you've managed to grow your fitness business, how maybe you can help other FitPros really get their business moving too, then reach out. Let's have a chat. Let's get you on this episode or one of these episodes, and you can share your knowledge and get other FitPros inspired to be able to really kick on with their fitness business. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon. Cheers. Thanks for watching. Now come join us inside our free Facebook group, where on a daily basis we share tons of content to help you generate leads for your fitness business.